They say, oh my God, I see the way you shine. Take your hand, my dear, and place them both in mine. You know you stopped me dead while I was passing by. And now I'm back time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my I like those love. You make me wanna cry. And now I beg to see you dance just one more time. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, eh, eh. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. Take my hands, my feet, and look me in my eyes. Just like a monkey, I've been dancing my whole life. But you just beg to see me dance just one more time. Ooh, I see you every time. And oh my
Hi guys, I think we have some people in, so I think we should get started.
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay. Alright guys, so this is our very first Regenesis Rant.
Yes.
You excited?
We're excited.
We are. We're excited. So we're going to talk about weight today. And we had quite a few people do questions. So I think we can kind of like start with those to get things rolling. If you guys are on and live, just send us your questions and we have some people that are kind of telling us your questions and we'll take those too. So,
Yeah.
you want to start that?
Yes. I mean, like we said in our first little intro, it's really complex, and we love talking about weight. Our office is going on right now, so if you hear like some noise or whatever, it's patients.
Yeah, people are coming in and out
and stuff like that. So don't mind that. And I hope you can hear us. We don't have our little microphone right now.
Give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. Okay. Good.
All right. So
so weight's complicated, and you guys know, like the people that see us here know that we do quite a few things in our office.
we have like a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, so we do quite a few things in our office, and we focus on hormones, we focus on gut health, we focus on nutrients, we have a nutritionist, we do all those different things, and kind of all those like play a role in weight. So when we talk about weight, it's a very complicated subject.
Yes, and it's different for everyone because when you look at somebody, also your parents, what they look like, you kind of resemble them too. So genetics play a part in it too. Yeah. We have some questions. We're gonna go answer those questions too.
Yeah, so I think one that was good to kind of get us started. So I don't know if you guys have seen on Instagram, but we're doing a cleanse right now. It's a 15-day cleanse called the Corona Cleanse. It's not really called the Corona Cleanse, but it's NutriClear Plus Cleanse. So it's a little box that comes like this. This is kind of just a good like detox program.
Yes.
It's good for pretty much anyone. And it's a 15-day cleanse. It's good to kind of get you started on stuff. So it comes with like, let's see, there's 2 shakes a day and a meal. And I think we've talked about this on Instagram before, but it comes with little packs of shakes. It comes with a little bottle, and also supplement packs that you take every day. But one of our patients had a question. She's currently doing the cleanse, and she had a question. So let's read that. So this is from one of our patients, Lisa. She says, I'm currently doing the Corona Cleanse. I feel great, more energy, and have lost 4 pounds already. But more importantly, it finally curbed my appetite, which has increased since these 2 years of menopause. My question is, after I complete the cleanse, what is the best next step to keep that great feeling and appetite under control? I think this is a great question.
Yeah, I mean, it's menopause, it sucks. So, menopause, it doesn't necessarily increase your appetite, but it causes weight gain.
And decreases your metabolism.
Yeah. Because estrogen deficiency, and I can vouch for that, it changes your metabolism. It just does. And you don't know how, it just makes you gain weight.
Yeah.
So, and then you feel like stressed, and then that cortisol makes you gain weight. It's like getting a steroid shot without getting a steroid shot.
Yeah.
So, this NutriClear Plus Cleanse it detoxes you, so it helps your liver work better at getting rid of toxins. So when you get rid of toxins, your metabolism works better, and so you lose weight faster.
Yeah, exactly. And this cleanse is kind of unique in the fact that it's great for people with any kind of chronic illness. So there's actually like a little questionnaire, which I'm not going to read through all of this, but it's a little symptom survey questionnaire. And if you score over a 14 on this questionnaire, then you're a good candidate for the cleanse. I scored like a 40 on this. Hannah, our medical assistant, Brittany, one of our other medical assistants, scored like in the 60s on this. So this is really just like the symptoms are, just to throw out a few, like if you've ever had constipation or bloated feeling, if you've ever had anxiety or depression, if you ever had any kind of like allergies, if you're fatigued or sluggish, if you've had like chronic like chapped lips or canker sores, if you have acne, hair loss, all of that. So pretty much all of us have a good amount of these. Pretty much all of us have a good amount of these symptoms. And so really what this cleanse I feel like is focused on doing is resetting our gut, increasing our vitamin levels, detoxifying our liver, and so we can boost metabolism.
Right.
And I think, so much of us are putting so many like bad things in our system all the time that
so it cleans you out.
Exactly.
And but then the next step after you finish this cleanse, you can still do the vitamins that are in this cleanse, which will help you detox, which are these packs. So you can come and see us and we can design that for you.
Yeah.
Plus, if you are in menopause, you really should be on hormone replacement. And if you are on hormone replacement, then you're replacing the hormones that actually will help your metabolism.
Yeah.
Because like we've talked about, the estrogen deficiency will change your metabolism.
Yeah.
And then the testosterone deficiency is going to help, like, make you lose your muscle mass, right?
Yeah. So I think one way that, like, because we talk about women a lot because we're talking about menopause, but men can also benefit from this cleanse.
Yeah.
So because we do hormone replacement for men, a lot of men here. And for men, sometimes it's like a gradual decline. Like they don't necessarily, like they don't get night sweats and hot flashes and stuff like women can get suddenly, but they just get a gradual decline in ability to build muscle mass and stamina.
Do you know that like when men have kids?
Yeah.
The minute men have kids, their testosterone goes down. I think like it's crazy. It's like 40% or something.
That's crazy. No, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not awesome. That's horrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the men can benefit from this too because men obviously have poor guts. They have hormone issues as well. So I think after the cleanse, really the cleanse is more of just like a trampoline, like kind of like that, like jumping block to get you started on focusing on your hormones, focusing on your gut health, and we can help you along the way with that. I think too the vitamins that come in the cleanse, we can give you those after. We can make it a little bit more specific for your problems, and then the shakes that come with it, those you can get in like a big bottle, so you can continue with the shakes.
I mean, you don't have to do it every day, but like it's just something.
Yeah.
But it is a way, like many times when I see people who want to be on hormone replacement, I'll put them on the cleanse, get them
Detox and started.
and then we'll start, the hormone replacement,
Yeah.
or we'll start HCG, which we'll talk about,
Yeah.
or we'll start, a weight loss program, or we'll start whatever we're going to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I think I think we've talked a bit about the cleanse. I think there was another question about, let's see. So we kind of mentioned, there was another question about who the cleanse is good for, and I kind of touched on that with going through the symptom questionnaire. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever given a patient the symptom questionnaire and they haven't been a good candidate for it. So I think really it's good for everyone who wants to.
Looking for a good cleanse. Like I don't think I've ever really found somebody who doesn't want a good cleanse.
Yeah, and there's so many different types of cleanses too, like juice cleanses and colon cleanses.
I don't know if juice cleanses are really complete because a juice cleanse isn't really, it's just a juice.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have enough protein.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have enough of everything.
I think the shakes have like 20 grams of protein in them. Yeah. I think it's like 20. Yeah, so you're getting all your nutrients. Let's see.
And it
yeah,
also
18 grams
and
of protein.
it tells you exactly what to eat, so there's no like guesswork.
Yeah, and I think the shakes are like a berry flavor. They're pretty good. They're not great with water. They're better with like almond milk.
Yeah.
I think it comes in blueberry and vanilla. So we answered 2 of the questions, and then I think the next one I think we should touch on. So our friend Hope said, "Hey guys, I was hoping to learn more about A1C and thyroid health. I struggle with Hashimoto's and being close to prediabetes." So I think this was a great question because this just tells you how your metabolic syndrome,
Yes.
which we touch on so much, how that can affect your weight and affect your endocrine health as well. So
I mean, it's a very big question. You know, in medicine, if you know about diabetes, I think you know about medicine.
yeah,
Because it affects like every organ in your body and everything there is to do with medicine.
yeah,
So, and we talk about this a lot. Hashimoto's is an autoimmune disease, which means that your body's making antibodies to itself.
yeah,
And so we need to really stop, reducing inflammation in your body. And that's the first step, and we tackle that every single day.
yeah,
So, with a lot of our patients. So, the first thing we would do is really reduce inflammation in your body.
yeah. So I think everyone's journey kind of starts with coming in, seeing us, like us getting a good picture of what's going on with you. We do lots of specialty testing and labs, and so I think that's a kind of a good stepping point. And then just kind of, putting you on a good anti-inflammatory diet. One supplement that I really like for like pre-diabetes is berberine, and I think both of us love that supplement. It helps curb your craving for carbs, which is awesome if you're pre-diabetic. And it functions very similarly to metformin, which is the medication that most people are on when they either are pre-diabetic or get diabetic. I think for younger people, for like younger women, a good other point is PCOS and how that kind of plays into pre-diabetes and plays into weight.
So a lot of people who tend to have like this metabolic syndrome and pre-diabetes, they don't know why they're gaining weight. And
they're not able to lose weight.
They're not able to lose weight. They keep gaining weight. And it's because of this terrible, terrible poison that they have, which is called insulin.
Yeah.
Okay. And so this terrible, terrible poison that they have that is called insulin that is so high in their bodies, we need to bring that down.
Yeah.
And so we do that with a lot of supplements. We really try to stay away from medication.
Yeah.
So we try to, work with supplements
and diet. Yeah.
And reduce inflammation.
Yeah.
So when you bring that insulin down, you feel so much better. You stop having those cravings of sugar. Like, we constantly want to have, like, I just want some candy. I just feel like my sugar's going down. Like, you get that hypoglycemic feeling.
Yeah, because people think like, oh, pre-diabetes, that's like your blood sugar's too high. But really, before you get pre-diabetes, really you can have hypoglycemia, which your blood sugar is low because your insulin is so resistant. So the receptors that your insulin works on get so resistant that your body tries to flood itself with insulin to drop your blood sugar. And so sometimes it overshoots and can leave you shaky and hypoglycemic and all those things. And so once we get that under control, I think that's a good way to manage weight for those people. And I think we've said before, like, it's not calories in, calories out. It's not as simple as that. So, one more question. So this is about HCG. And so we haven't really talked about HCG. So HCG is it's the pregnancy hormone. And so I think the diet was developed in Europe originally. Is that right? Did I make that up?
By this doctor, what's his name?
I think I just made it sound fancier than it is. It's developed in Europe.
He might have been.
Okay,
Actually,
we'll pretend. Okay, so it was developed in Europe.
And what's his name? It was Dr.
I have no idea.
What's his name?
I have no idea. Anyways, so HCG is the pregnancy hormone.
He found out that these women who were pregnant, even if they were starved, they actually
maintain their muscle mass.
They maintain their muscle mass.
Yeah.
And their babies actually never lost weight.
Yeah.
And they lost their visceral fat before they lost their skeletal mass.
Yeah. So basically, they kept their muscle to support and protect their baby, but they got rid of any additional fat. Okay, so Hannah tells us that the HCG guy was British. Okay, so we weren't far off. And it's Dr. Georgiana.
I don't know. I think it was
Seeger?
No,
okay, we need.
He's the same person.
Oh, Georgiana Seeger. It's a girl.
I think it was someone else.
Okay, we need help with our support staff.
Yeah,
Her husband helped.
Oh, her husband.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyway,
I like it even better now. Yeah. It's a girl. Okay.
All right,
So anyway, so HCG. So
yeah, he is. I mean, or she.
Yeah. He or she. Yeah. So HCG, pregnancy hormone. We've already said that. We've said how it works. So the HCG diet is another kind of thing that is a good sounding board or a good trampoline into another program. So it's very the HCG diet is very motivating because you get results. And I think a lot of us, like, I know for me, like, anytime I've tried to lose weight, like, I'm literally weighing myself every single morning, like, no clothes, have to pee before, take my hair bow out, take my earrings out, and if I'm not losing, like, you know, a couple pounds every couple days, then I'm discouraged. I'm like, okay, well, why am I eating like a rabbit, you know, to not lose any weight? And so I think the good thing about the HCG is that that you do get results pretty quickly. But the HCG diet too is about like maintaining. And so HCG basically, should we talk about like what they do, what you do for the diet, or do you think most people know?
I think, I mean, just it's a very low calorie diet, but you don't feel hungry because the HCG kind of burns off your visceral fat.
Yeah.
And the visceral fat is the bad fat. It's the fat that's on the organs.
Yeah.
And that's the fat that it's hard to lose, that fat. It's the most dangerous fat. It's the fat that increases your risk of heart disease.
Yeah.
You know, and so when you compare people who just go on a low calorie diet versus people who go on the HCG diet, the people on the HCG diet lost more visceral fat than the other people.
Yeah.
They all lost the same amount of weight, just the visceral fat.
I think too, like, I noticed when I did HCG that I lost more, like, yeah, I was happy with the pounds, but I lost a lot of inches, and I noticed it from the places I think that we have trouble losing weight from, like our bellies and our thighs and our butt.
Well, actually, like, thigh weight generally is okay, even though we don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's that
Belly.
middle weight, that belly fat. You know, like when you see somebody with diabetes, you'll see them they'll be more like apple shaped.
Yeah. Like truncal obesity.
Yeah, that truncal obesity isn't healthy. It's bad for you.
Okay, so someone just wrote in and said, so this is my sister actually, but she said that she's lost 5.5 pounds in 3 days on HCG. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And we've been doing it for many years, and it's like with food, for example, like we wanted to just talk about that.
Yeah, so I think with like maintaining. So when you're doing the cleanse or when you're doing HCG, really it's like, okay, well, what do I do after? And yes, it's about maintaining your hormones and stuff, but it's also about knowing like how to eat and what to put in your body to feed your body. And so I think we had some good examples about
like for example, like the other day a patient was like, hey, I just ate fruit for breakfast, and then I'll probably skip lunch,
or like just have a salad,
and then I'll just like eat like some chicken and broccoli for dinner.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, when I'm really looking at what you're eating, you know, you're not really eating enough protein, or it's great that you're eating fruit. Fruit has so many good nutrients and you know.
Yeah.
So let's just pick something.
Okay. So let's pick these pretzel crisp buffalo flavored.
So let's look on your. So this is a little trick. It's easy because like it's so hard to count stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So this is a little trick that I learned. Just look at the carbs and protein.
So
if you want to look at carbs and protein, a quick rule of thumb: if you don't want to count calories or anything, do 2 carbs to 1 protein.
Yeah. So basically, you should, if it says carbs, like if it says 20 carbs, it should have 10 grams of protein.
Yeah. For every
2 carbs.
Every 2 carbs, eat 1 protein.
Yeah. So that's a good little rule of thumb. And so this, like these pretzel crisps,
they are, by the way, vegan, and you can do this if you're vegan, vegetarian, flexitarian, whatever. I'm vegetarian, almost vegan.
Yeah, and men can do this too. So
men can do it, women can do it.
Yeah. So these are 22 grams of carbs and 2 grams of protein. So these are a no-go.
So no, it's not a no-go.
But you just need more protein with it.
If you do this, right, then you're going to add peanut butter or peanuts or nuts.
Yeah, as a higher protein snack.
Right. Yeah. So you just have to eat this with
extra protein.
Extra protein to balance it out so that you're good.
Yeah. So if you're gonna have fruit in the morning, then you should have
like some egg whites with it.
Egg whites or some yogurt or something, some high protein yogurt with it.
So that's what I told my patient was you need to eat Greek yogurt plain.
Yeah, because the vanilla has way too many carbs. Like it just, I love vanilla yogurt, but I was like astonished at how many carbs it has. And so honestly, yeah, you gotta be plain.
So just count. You don't worry about the fat content so much.
Yeah.
You worry about the saturated fat content. Just eat good fat.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, now
this is about fiber. So this will be, we're gonna talk about fiber, carb versus fiber. So if you take an apple and you take blackberries and you're like, oh, should I have an apple for breakfast or should I have blackberries? So
they're both great.
They're both great. They're both
and
good.
And you should eat both.
Yes.
Like this is so much better than apple juice.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, like that for example, apple juice has 0 fiber.
Yeah.
And a glass of apple juice, you need like 3 apples.
Yeah.
To make a glass of apple juice,
and it has
which has no fiber.
And it has added sugar.
Calories and
added sugar.
No added sugar.
Oh, the no added sugar apple juice.
No added sugar apple juice. But like this apple has how many?
I think it's like 25 grams of carbs in like a medium-sized apple, and this has 5 grams of fiber.
5 to 7 grams.
5 to 7.
So you negate the fiber from the carbs because the fiber.
So your body has a hard time digesting fiber, and so when you have high fiber with carbohydrates, it actually takes away the grams of carbohydrates because your body's working so hard to digest the fiber.
And it's also keeping it full. Like the fiber is expanding
in your stomach.
Full, and it gives you a sense of satiety.
Yeah. So this is like, let's say 20, for the sake of math, we'll say 25 grams of carbs and 5 grams of fiber. So this has basically 20 net carbs. You talk about blackberries, raspberries, really most of the berries. These are going to have more like, in a serving size, it's going to have more like 15 grams of carbs, but more like 8 to 9 grams of fiber. So the net carbohydrates in this are going to be lower than the apple. If you're watching your
lower glycemic index.
Yes. Which is great for people going back to the people that are diabetic and stuff like that, or pre-diabetic, insulin resistant. It is great to watch your glycemic index and your carbs. I think we have some more questions.
Like celery, for example. Like that's why, like,
you love celery.
No, celery is like a negative carb, you know, because like the work it takes to digest celery, it's like negative.
You're right, it is.
It's like 4 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and then the amount of work it takes to digest it, you're like in the negative.
Yeah. So, okay, so cleanse contraindications. There's really no cleanse contraindications. I guess if you're allergic to something that's in the cleanse, but I would highly doubt that that's possible. It's just vitamins and.
The contraindication is just don't like eat crap.
Yeah.
This is good.
This is good. And age. So this is for any age. Any age group could do the cleanse for sure. Where do we ship? We ship anywhere.
Alaska.
Yes. Yes. We have free shipping for anything over $50. I think we do, and it usually comes in a couple of days. North America. Oh, we ship in North America.
I think we ship to Canada, which is in North America. Yes. Sorry,
we're not geographers or whatever. Geographers. Is that what it's called? Okay, we didn't pay attention in social studies.
We were very interested.
We were really good in biology, though. Okay, so correlating factors, weight gain, loss, and energy levels. Correlating factors, weight gain, loss, and energy levels.
are we very energetic because we lost weight?
No,
So,
like,
yes.
are there any correlating factors between weight gain or weight loss and your energy?
Oh,
Yes.
100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
I mean, I think people who have like, today I saw like 3 people who came for a follow-up. Every single one of them was like, I just feel amazing.
Yeah.
Like, they all lost weight.
Yeah, I think our main, like, 2 complaints, like, if I had to say, like, what I hear the most from patients, men, women, young, old, whatever, I think the 2 most common complaints I have are fatigue and weight gain. And stress. And I don't think any of those things are mutually exclusive. Like, I think they all go hand in hand. If you're not feeding yourself good nutrients, or even if you are, but sometimes if you can't lose weight or you have metabolic syndrome, then you're not going to feel energized.
No, nobody comes to us and says, I feel great, I have lots of energy, but like, you know, nobody says.
No, nobody says that. Nobody says that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Any other help for men? We talked about testosterone replacement.
I mean, we do more than testosterone replacement. We do peptides, we do
peptides,
we do sexual health. We do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
I think too, like, the men can do the Corona cleanse. I think we said that. Men can do HCG for sure, and actually HCG can help with testosterone levels.
And it's a treatment for testosterone.
Yeah, so that's awesome. And then I think I missed some. Hold on. This is about men too. Did we answer this one about, you said vegan?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we need to talk about HCG recipes because I got multiple questions about that. Okay, so HCG recipes. So when you do HCG, we talked a little bit about like the science behind it, but HCG is either a 26-day or a 43-day program, and it's a liquid that you inject into your belly.
It's a tiny needle.
It's a tiny.
It's like really small. Like
it's a Botox needle.
Yeah, I mean, it's so tiny you cannot see it. You know?
You want to hold it up to the camera?
Yeah.
It's so tiny. It doesn't even hurt, especially if you have a little extra.
And I mean, your nerve endings are like wider set than that, so you wouldn't feel it.
Yeah. So you inject yourself with HCG every day for either 26 or 43 days, and it is a calorie deprived diet. So we tell you how many calories to eat on a daily basis based on your basic metabolic rate, which takes into consideration your age, your sex, your activity level, your height and your weight, obviously. And so it's not a one size fits all. So let's say a 300-pound person eats 500 calories a day versus a 150-pound person eats 500 calories a day. That's not going to, like 500 calories a day are not going to sustain both those different people. It's going to be different. And so we choose your calories based on your BMR. And so you'll eat that amount and you'll inject yourself for the 26 or the 43 days. So there's also, when we give you the stuff for it, there's also a list of kind of approved foods. So it's super easy to follow. It's mainly vegetables and protein. But I think people see like vegetables and protein, they're like, okay, well, what am I going to eat? Like grilled chicken and broccoli every single day, all day. But we had some questions about recipes. So, and I've done HCG before, and so I thought I would talk about some of that. So one good thing I liked to eat while I was on HCG, is like the spiralized zucchini. I would do that, and I did not spiralize it myself. I bought it from Harris Teeter, already spiralized. And then I would do a little bit of either like ground turkey, and then I would use like a very like clean marinara that had very low carbohydrate content in it, so no added sugars. Or you can make your own like quick marinara with just like crushed tomatoes, garlic and onions. So that was a good kind of like filling dinner that made me feel like I was eating pasta. Another thing I did was like kind of HCG nachos, I called them. So I had little, those little mini bell peppers. So I would roast the little mini bell peppers, do some either ground turkey or ground beef, put it on top, and then have a little bit of guacamole or salsa on top. And you can use the taco seasoning too. Other things are like turkey sausage and egg whites with salsa. You can do that. I think I had turkey sausage pretty much every morning for breakfast when I was on HCG. And that kept me full. I think one thing too is making sure you have enough, like we said, protein in the morning to kind of start your metabolism off for the day. I'm trying to think what else I did. Ooh, for a sweet treat, So everyone wants to know what kind of sweet treats they can have. So it's limited, but I used to have the, probably not great for you, but the sugar-free Jell-O. Was really the one.
Oh, it's 0 calories.
Yeah, it's 0 everything. So I did sugar-free Jell-O, and then if I wanted to be super adventurous, I would have a little ready whip on top. So that's a little sweet treat that you can have. And I do, like, so it's dependent on the person. If you're trying to do more like anti-inflammatory diet, you should probably try to watch the dairy. So you can't have a small amount of dairy every day. I think it's about a tablespoon of dairy a day you can have. So, do we have any other questions? What are we going to talk about next week?
I don't know. Immunity?
Yeah, I feel like we should talk about immunity. I think that's a good one for,
because it's like, it's honestly right now everyone's really concerned about it.
Yeah. What do you guys? What are some things that you guys would want to talk about, like a big subject that we can kind of cover?
I think you should send your questions to info@regenesis.com.
Regenesis
or
MD.
DM us at Facebook or Instagram DM or is that what you
DM.
call it?
Yeah, and it's info@regenesismd.com. Or you can call us. Yeah.
Or call us.
Yes. So I think we'll plan on doing immunity, but unless you guys have,
This is a virus that is plaguing us right now, and the only way you can really help yourself is by improving your immunity.
Yeah.
So, we're going to talk about it. I think it's really, important to us.
Yeah.
Immunity.
It is.
So we have a lot to talk about with that, and so
Yeah.
I'm excited.
One more question, really quick. So someone asked if sugar-free was okay for HCG. I think technically you're not supposed to have any sugar. You're not supposed to have any like artificial sugars like stevia or sweeteners or anything like that.
Stevia is technically not artificial.
I know. I think it still says no stevia though. Technically, Dr. Stiegel, whoever.
No, not
No,
really.
you can't have honey. Someone asked if you could have honey. Not really. I think if you're like, okay, I'm either gonna cheat and have a piece of cake, or I'm gonna have sugar-free Jell-O. Like, eat the sugar-free Jell-O. If you're like, I want a Coke Zero or a piece of cake.
If you have
eat
some
the
cake, you're going to screw up your whole HCG.
Yeah. So if you need, one thing too, I think is important is that with HCG, like, it's not a keto diet, but it does put your body into ketosis. And so if you're going to cheat with fats. Like, cheat with fats. So if you're like, I just, like, your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, they're, want a burger. Okay, you can have a burger, but just do a bunless burger. Make sure you're, taking away the carbs, and that will keep your body in ketosis. Someone else asked about dark cocoa. I think that's a no too.
Is it?
I don't know.
I think it's okay.
You think dark cocoa is okay for HCG? Okay,
It
that's
has
one
no
we'll have to,
calories.
it has 0?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one we'll have to look up. But I didn't do it, but I don't know.
Sugar.
It's no sugar?
Pure dark cocoa has no sugar.
Okay, yeah. If it's no sugar, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it tastes very good though.
It's bitter. It's so bitter.
Yeah, so we'll talk about immunity next week, but if you guys have questions, then send us your questions
Please
about...
send us questions. We love
Yeah,
them.
and immune systems aren't just about, like... It's not just about, like, vitamin C and fighting a virus. It's so much more. It's about your gut health, and it's about autoimmune conditions.
It's about
and
mushrooms.
It's about mushrooms. Okay, we'll end on the mushrooms. All right, bye, guys.